This is Michael with growthhop.com, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use the VLOOKUP function within Google Sheets. So in this case, what I did for this example is I put together a common business case or digital marketing case where you have, let's say, a data table with blog post URLs and their title and the type of content it is, the author, and so forth. And you have a summary where you want to look something up, or you have let's say these were your top blog posts last year or last month or what have you, and you want to just quickly look up the author and the type that these resources were from your data set without having to go to the website or anything like that. So it's not the best example, but it does happen where you want to, let's say you have thousands and thousands of blog posts and you do a data export and you just need to simply look up these values. It's a very simple function to use. So how we will start is with the equal sign as always. We will type in VLOOKUP, which V just stands for vertical. There's also the HLOOKUP, which is horizontal. In this case, we're just going to be looking at the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP, because of how people use data or how data exports are usually set up in defaults, the vertical lookup is the one you will most often use. It'll probably be very rare to use an HLOOKUP. So you enter in your VLOOKUP, you open parenthesis, and it asks you to give the search key. And the search key is the essentially the primary key or the core key that you're going to use to filter from or pull from a table. So in our case, we're using the URL path or slug, and I'm going to hit comma. And the thing about VLOOKUPs is when you use whatever your search key is, you need to start. When you go to select your range, you need to start in the same basically field. So in this case, we started with URL. Over here in this table, we need to start with URL. We could not start here at title and move backward, or start at metrics and move, it just isn't going to work. So we have to start at the URL, and you could hold the shift key and select all the way over to the columns you're going to be interacting with. And then if you're on a Mac, if you hold Command and Shift and go down, then you have your range selected of the entire data table. And then I'm going to hit function F4, which is just going to lock that range. So that way when I drag my formulas down, the selected range isn't going to be dragged with it. So now we need to go to do comma again, and we need to select the index, which is just a fancy word in this case for how many columns over do you want the formula to look up. So in this case, it's going to start here at URL because that's the first column we selected, and we want to find the author, and the author is all the way over here, so that is column 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to type in 4, and you can hit comma, and then you can leave this last column blank for now. In this case, you don't need to worry about the last field. Just hit comma, close the parenthesis, and it will look up the author. Now we can copy and paste our formula, drag it down, and in order to show that this worked, if I just copy this URL, do a Command find, I can find it here, and you can see Trevor, pulled in Trevor. If I do another VLOOKUP here for type, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to do VLOOKUP. I'm going to start at my URL. I'm going to go to my range. And in this case, I don't have to go all the way to author. I just want to go to type. You couldn't go to author. It doesn't really matter. But in this case, we're just going to go to type. I'll do Command Shift and go down. And then lock that by hitting function F4, comma. And in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, comma, close parenthesis, and now I have to type. So that is the VLOOKUP formula. There are other ways to do this. I'll make some more videos on and tutorials on the advanced VLOOKUPs, but this is a very straightforward VLOOKUP. And if you have any questions or comments on setting up your own VLOOKUP, please feel free to reach out or leave a comment on this tutorial, and I'll be checking those regularly, and I'd be happy to help or answer any questions that you have. Until next time, thank you for watching.